Hello and welcome to 60-Second Retro Gamer. I am Simon Pryor. Joining me are Ant Tremaine.
Hello.
And Rich Hatton.
I am the voice of a Mysteron.
I wish you luck.
Crash.
Move!
And we are today talking about the video game for Captain Scarlet, the Jerry Anderson series.
That well-known vehicle game.
Yeah. It's such a well-known game. It doesn't actually have a Wikipedia entry. That's how good it is. So, story-wise, there isn't really a story beyond stopping the Mysterons. And that's
you don't actually know the story unless you read the back of the box.
That's right, yeah. The back of the box says the Mysterons are plotting to assassinate the president and only you can stop them. But that isn't mentioned at all in the actual game anywhere, as far as we've seen. It's always just been like sequential mission, one after the other. You've got to follow one of three different possible mission types. You've got to catch up with the Mysterons, blow the Mysterons up, protect a vehicle, which is the VIP.
Yeah.
The first main mission. You've got to protect the VIP
by destroying some Mysterons.
Yeah.
Who are driving cars.
Yeah. Generic looking cars.
Yeah. They might actually be the cars. They used to take vehicles over, didn't they?
Yeah,
I suppose.
And race against the clock. But this is over 16 all-action missions. Now, whilst 16 does sound quite a lot, each mission probably takes you about 5 minutes tops to do. So you're looking at a good couple of hours tops to actually complete the game. That's assuming, of course, that the game doesn't screw you over, or you don't get confused at the fact that you're driving at 100 kph and you just hit a wall because you can't turn. It handles like a brick. So story-wise, there isn't really anything to it. I mean, I hate it when developers do this with games, because you've got a classic sort of license that a lot of people know. So you've got a built-in audience already. So you'd think they'd actually put a bit of effort into making a game worth playing. Now, even to a minor degree, you'd hope that they put a little bit of effort in. But that isn't the case in this instance. Now, this game was released by Blast Entertainment, who also released the Thunderbirds game, which we gave a rather disparaging score earlier in the year.
Good raping.
Yeah.
I've just noticed something, sorry to butt in.
That's alright.
That is very odd about Captain Blue and Lieutenant Green on the front cover.
Yeah.
Well, you look at Captain Scarlet's hat,
yes,
and the S is the right way round.
And they've been flipped.
They've been reversed.
Oh no. When did Lieutenant Green ever wear a hat?
He wore it a few times.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
when he went on missions and stuff.
What, he left his chair?
Yeah. He went to the moon for one of them.
Did he?
Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
Oh yes. Could be worse though. In true Battlestar Galactica form, in the new CG series, Lieutenant Green is a woman.
Oh.
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
Yes, she, he, she.
Why?
Because that's what you do when you reimagine something. You change the gender of half the characters.
That's like when they redid Bond, if they actually brought Moneypenny in and
Made her a man.
Yeah.
Made it like a gay love plot between Bond and Moneypenny.
Brokeback Mountain.
Mr. Moneypenny.
It would just be silly.
Yes.
Or making Q a woman. It just wouldn't work.
Women aren't allowed in science labs, that's why.
No.
Bond wouldn't listen anyway, would he?
No.
She'd be going, oh, Bond, yes, I have this wonderful device here. And he'd go, of course you do, love. Yeah.
And he'd go, yeah, make love to me.
But, yeah, getting back to Captain Scarlet, this it's a terrible, terrible game. And there are two vehicles that you get to drive. Two amazing vehicles, as the book says. The Agile Spectrum Patrol Car, which it really isn't.
You know the first episode of Captain Scarlet, when Captain Scarlet's turned into a Mysteron,
Yeah.
and his car falls off the cliff?
That's how
Crash.
these handle.
Yeah.
Crash. Yeah. That's basically how these handle. Or the mighty Spectrum Pursuit Vehicle, which handles exactly the same on ice, dirt, or tarmac, but it fires missiles.
Yeah.
And it's a different colour, it's blue.
That's a different colour. Yeah.
The other one's red.
And basically, the mission types that you do, you've got race against the clock, hunting down Mysterons, protecting other Spectrum agents, including the VIP.
I'd love to know who the VIP is.
just a VIP,
Just
and much more apparently, but not so much more because I mean over 16 all-action missions. There's only so much you can cram in.
And from what we've seen so far, there wasn't really much else.
No, I mean one thing I really found laughable about the game. It's just like when we booted up the Thunderbirds game, especially the first time that you booted it up as well when you first bought it from his master's voice.
I didn't get it from our place. I got it from Amazon.
Oh, is it Amazon? Oh, I know you got it a while ago.
Yeah, it was last year sometime.
HMV won't soil their shelves.
No,
in
they.
such a
That's,
we had it
They
pre-owned.
have.
We had it pre-owned somewhere.
God.
Someone traded it in.
I think they actually got more money for it. It's actually you can actually trade it in, and buy it and make a net profit. You trade it in and then buy it back, or you buy it for so much and trade it in and make a net profit. I think it's that way around. Anyway.
What happens if you keep doing that?
We tell you to leave.
You could put HMV out of business, I think.
I don't think we're going to be missing £1 a day.
No. But if you did it for long enough over a sufficient amount of time,
A couple of years, or
yeah, it might make a very slight dent in a particular store's profit.
Yeah.
But so yeah, story isn't really
High on the agenda.
no, it
No.
doesn't really exist
Not really
in the slightest.
No, it's not the first thing they put together.
No, gloriously, there's no multiplayer.
Could you imagine?
Oh,
I
Head-to-head multiplayer split screen.
Boom.
Spamming the R2 button to shoot.
die!
Unlimited ammo, by the way, as well. So you
Which
never
is
have
the
to
only
worry
good
about
thing about the game.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
your
there's
shields
no-
never seem to die.
There's
No.
no element of tactic involved. You just have to be the old Iron Man.
Yeah, he's back.
Oh,
Yeah, you just have to just press down on the shoot button, and that's it. And you just leave it going. And so modes of play, as we've said,
One.
there's one. You
Technically
drive.
two if you turn the console off.
You can play it or you can't. That's it. That's the two options. But the initial training mission is terrible because it's on a really large sort of training ground, and you've got to track down and shoot and blow up four drone vehicles, and the radar doesn't help.
no, you can't find them.
The course doesn't help at all, and it doesn't make any sense. You could be going around in circles for all you know.
Yeah.
And it's the
There's
worst.
no way of telling where you are on the course either. It
Yeah,
all looks the same.
It's almost on par for bad intros to games as Driver was on the PS1.
Well, I don't know. That was all right.
Driver was fun.
That had a purpose to it though. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to say that did have a purpose
Yeah.
to it. It's just a very hard learning curve to actually
Well,
get into the game itself.
Driver 3
especially
was
if you.
terrible.
Well, yeah, we'll get onto that in the later review.
Yeah.
I think. But the game itself just doesn't work. I mean, you've got bad collision detection. You've got terrible graphics.
They were graphics.
Well, yeah, 'cause obviously,
They.
what are you playing if you can't see the game in motion?
Oh, this is true.
Yeah,
It probably would
yeah.
have looked better on a PlayStation, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It might have started life on the PlayStation,
Yeah.
and then
It probably would have been acceptable on there.
yeah,
Some of the rubbish they knocked out on it.
this is true. But there's an equal amount of rubbish on the PS2, to be honest. I mean, the
Wow.
PS2 is still a viable console as well. I mean, you can buy a PS2 console now for £50.
It's slowly dwindling out.
Slowly, but I mean, there's still new games coming for it. I mean, FIFA 11's
Is it?
just been released on it,
Mhm.
and I think the next Harry Potter game's coming out on it, and there's a couple of others. But so the console itself is still going.
Tomb Raider Underworld was released in it as well.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not very good.
No, and I think I'm not sure, but I don't think this game was released on any other console.
I've not seen it on any other
I
console.
know I know there was a planned PC port of it, but
Really?
that never really came to fruition. I wouldn't also say that the game is user friendly in any stretch of the imagination.
Not to anyone who's a gamer nor not a gamer.
No,
Or even a fan of Captain
No.
Scarlet, like we all are.
Yeah.
the controls are about as simple as they come as well. You steer with the left stick.
That's being generous.
You attempt to steer with the left stick. You drive, I think, with the X button, is it?
Yeah. You can also use the right stick to accelerate and brake.
Throttle and brake, yeah.
Yeah, bearing.
X to throttle, square to brake, triangle to go back through menus, circle to look behind you, not that you ever really need to. L1 button is the handbrake, which does exactly the same as the square, quite frankly. You've got R1 to reset vehicle, so if you end up on your roof, you press R1 and you'll do that.
I forgot about that.
R2 to fire your weapon, and start obviously pauses the game.
No use for select?
No.
Oh.
Most
End
games
your
don't.
life.
Yeah.
Select, destroy the game in the console. But I mean, the other thing that gets me as well is how simple the game looks elsewhere. So you boot the game up, you've got the MIDI version of the theme.
Oh.
You've got the really low rendered copy of the Spectrum patrol vehicle
Flittering about in the background.
driving around erratically, which is true to the game. Quite really.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's like, driving
Oh,
erratic. Oh,
God.
there's a wall.
I can't turn.
There's no cutscenes either.
No
it's just
cutscenes.
No.
A picture of Captain White,
Colonel White going, well done.
Or cloud base.
Or
Yeah,
Cloud Base, yeah. It's a picture. It's a still from the original series.
Yeah.
And that is the mission complete screen. I can't imagine there actually being, any sort of fantastic game development by the end where they give you a full animated cutscene at the end. It's just going to be like, well done, you finished the game. Back to the start menu.
Congratulations, you've stopped the Mistroms.
The menus,
do it again.
yeah, the menus themselves as well don't really help because it says continue or go back to main menu or something like that. So every time you finish a mission, you don't know which one you want to press because has it saved? Has it not saved?
I know, it just doesn't.
So don't really know what to do. So your best bet really is just play through all in one go if you have the nerve and
you have the power.
if you have the mental strength and testicular fortitude to do it. I mean, we were sort of looking for information on the game on the interwebs, and it is quite scarce, to be honest. I mean,
Scarce.
scarce, scarce.
There's a bloke called Mr. Scarce who comes into the shop.
That's nice.
He's in
That's
love
all
with
I got.
our with our ladies that work in our place.
All of them.
Well, the two of them
Oh.
that he sees on a regular basis in the shop.
Does he serenade them, Christa Berg style?
Well, he's offered them a free ride on his bus
Oh,
because he's a bus driver.
oh, I see.
The euphemism, or
But yes, I think he probably is.
I'll give you a free ride.
You can have
on
a
my,
free ride on my bus. Yeah, well, I bet you say that to all the ladies. I do actually.
No, he does actually sound like that.
It's a bit worrying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, so we were sort of scouting up on the web to see if there's actually any information out there for it, and we ended up just going to Amazon and finding some of the user reviews for it.
All two of them.
All two of them. And what's
One
the
was
scary
massive.
thing is, this game is actually selling for £5.37.
Which that brand new though.
Brand new, in
though.
stock, dispatched and sold by Amazon. And I currently have Amazon Prime free trial, so I've got free delivery on that as well, next day delivery. I mean, I've already got the game anyway, so it's a bit irrelevant, but only 2 left in stock. Order soon. I'm not
I
that
don't
desperate.
think they're gonna disappear very quickly.
No.
Are
But the best thing is it's the second review. 30% of people buy the item featured on this page, and 11% randomly buy Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
they? Yeah. Okay. That wasn't a bad game actually. The Chamber of Secrets game.
Yeah, I'll read you the short review that we have. Now, this is from 18th of January 2008 by Tom Times. So if you're listening, Tom Times, thank you for the review and get in touch. 1 star. I hate this game. I bought it for £6 and after 30 minutes of playing, found out that this game's overpriced by $5.99. He probably finished it in that half an hour.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll find yourself driving a vehicle which has awful steering and a dodgy gun. Was this review helpful to you? I'm going to click yes.
Yes, I think.
Thank you for your feedback. It says here as well, blah blah blah, one review. See both customer reviews. Amazon, I can. I don't know, but I'd only recommend this game for
Blind people.
blind people, simpletons.
And possibly very, very, very young children.
Yeah, I think that's the core market they're aiming for. To be
Yeah.
honest. They're cashing in on an established brand. The CG series had just come out around that time as well, so they're obviously just exploiting that. Why they did the Thunderbirds game when they did as well, I don't know. Was the Thunderbirds film out around then?
I
No,
think
there's
it
a few,
was,
isn't it?
It came out in 2004. Yeah.
Yeah, so the game was 2007.
So
So
it was well and truly
no
after the
correlation
filming,
there,
so,
yeah.
no,
it was awful.
yeah. But just as bad as each
But
other, really.
the terrible thing is, whilst the Thunderbirds game is awful, by comparison, it is a work of art compared to
Yeah.
Captain Scarlet.
Yeah.
That's the terrible thing.
And then the upside in Captain Scarlet, you don't have Colonel White gurning at you from the corner of the screen.
No,
It's
like
a bit
Jeff
off-putting.
Tracy style.
Yeah, like he's going to go for your neck at any given
No.
second.
We've got a mission, chaps. I'm gonna eat you.
Idiots. They never learn.
Yes. Move. But yeah, Captain Scarlet, terrible game, and only for the die-hard fans and if you have mental issues. What kind of mental issues I won't go into, but you'll work it out after you've played the game. Or if you're a sadist or you like punishing yourself, then give it a go.
Here's the one for you.
Yes. And you can pick it up dirt cheap on eBay as well. So if you're really desperate, don't pay more than about £2 for it, because it really isn't worth.
I
worth
wouldn't
the money.
want to pay more than a penny for it, to be
Well, I
honest.
paid a penny plus £1.99 postage.
Oh,
So I paid £2 to have it delivered to me.
you've been ripped off.
Oh, really? I think that's a pretty good deal.
I could probably go and trade it in and maybe make a bit more. Sell it on eBay and make 50p.
Yeah.
But hey ho. Right, so if you have any questions for us or you'd like to request any games, send an email to info@randomstoke.com. Don't forget also we have the YouTube channel, which has the video review of this, which won't exactly be thrilling. But
You can see
Or,
my brilliant driving on it.
All action.
all action packed, yeah. So don't forget the YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/randomstoked, one word, or just search for us on Google, randomstoke.com. Go on the website, everything is on there, and everything will be tickety-boo. And obviously, if you send us an email, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you for listening if you have been, and we'll see you next time.